Hi, I'm Tom and I'm Head of Customer Success here at Navexa. I'm going to take you through the monthly roundup. I guess this is more of a December and a little bit of January because we were on a break over December. But welcome back, and we'll take you through what's new here at Navexa. So one of the first things that we launched during the December period, I think it was Boxing Day actually, is the Stock Genius competition or challenge. And that's the Rask, so that's with Owen Rask and his team there. It's the Rask stock market game. And what it means is that if you go to stockgenius.com.au, you'll be presented with this screen here. And there's a countdown timer where the game will actually start in 18 days. So that means that you have to make your choices, which I'll run through before that timer is up. And that's the 1st of February 2026. That's Sydney, Melbourne time to be specific. So basically, if you go to that website, you'll see that there's the boxer that says Enter Challenge. And regardless if you're already an actual subscriber to Navexa, you can still enter this challenge and it'll appear separately in your list of portfolios. It won't count towards your portfolio. But the best thing is that even if you're not a subscriber to Navexa itself, you can still take part in this challenge. And it's a bit of fun. So I'll walk you through different bits, but you can see that it starts the 1st of February 2026 and then it'll end 31st December 2026. And the starting capital there is 100,000 Aussie dollars, not real, unfortunately. And I can go up here. I'll just have a quick look at the rules, and the rules are fairly straightforward, and you can basically only choose stocks or ETFs, and they have to be from the Australian market or the US market. So that's the NYSE or the NASDAQ there. And you've got to have exactly 10 stocks. Don't worry too much about the $100,000. Obviously, it'd be fantastic if you used up every single cent, but you may not be able to do that. So just aim for getting 10 stocks, the 10 best ones that you think are going to give the best portfolio return percentage. And that's how it's actually scored here. So winners are determined by portfolio return percentage. The participant with the highest return by the end wins, and there'll be a first and a second, third winner for the stock market game here at Rask and Navexa. Now, entering is pretty easy. You've just got to click on the Enter Challenge and it will take you through creating an account. And here's one I prepared earlier. And you can see here that it does show up in the top left under Stock Genius if you want to choose that. Otherwise, this is the actual portfolio detail. It's very similar to what a normal Navexa account looks like. So it's using the Navexa platform to power this competition. And you can see here that I've not picked anything yet. I've got a buying power of 100,000 Australian dollars available left to invest. And then there's lock status is open, and it'll lock on February the 1st at 12 a.m. So definitely get all your picks in before then so that you can actually have it locked in. There's the counter there anyway. It's like the standard screen that we've been through before, and you can see the portfolio value is $100,000. And that's actually because I've got cash there. So it's using a cash account to ideally show you how to go about picking, and even it's a very realistic way of how you'd set up your real Navexa account. What I can do is to actually put my first trade in, you just go and click Add Trade. And then what I'm going to do is I've got a whole list of different stocks that I'm going to put in, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to choose Apple. Which I know the ticker AAPL, it's at there, and I can see it's currently trading at 260.25, which is US dollars. And at the bottom here, you can see that I've got one is the total cost of $387.88 Australian, and that would leave me with $99,000 there. But what I might do is I might say, you know what, I'm going to put in I might say even 20. I'm going to go with 20 Apple shares. I'll click Add Stock. And now that's my first one that's been added. You can see that I've got one out of my 10 picks completed. My buying power has obviously dropped a little bit. Everything else there is the same because everything's still open. And you can see here that the value, my portfolio value, has gone up to reflect that it's actually $100,000. And here's the interesting part. You can see my actual Apple stock and also the amount that I've got, the current value, and it'll show me any capital gain, any total return. And I can, as always, change columns if I wanted to get more information just by clicking on that there. It's going to show me in Aussie dollars at the moment, so it's doing the conversion for me, which is fantastic. But it's also being reflected in my cash account as it would in real life, because we've got our starting deposit of 100 grand and we've taken off 20 of the Apple trades. I can click portfolio at the top just to go back, and then you can see there's different currency gain information here. So it's one thing that sets Navexa apart, is that we actually give you your true return by talking about the currency gain and also the income and the capital gain there too. So what I would do is go ahead and pick another 9 more stocks. If I made a mistake though, and I thought, oh gee, I don't actually want this in my portfolio, I just click on the actual stock. And this is different to the real platform, because obviously there's different constraints, but I can go up and click actions and just say delete holding, yes, delete, and that gets rid of it. It basically reverses my adding trade there, so I can go ahead and keep adding different ones. You might want to go and check the view leaderboard, and we've actually got a large number of people who have already signed up, so the competition is getting serious already. Some great names there. Remember that the name you choose for this competition, it can't be changed later, so try and pick a good one that you want to stick with. Don't put your email address down. But we'll be talking more about this. I know that Navar from Navexa and also Owen from Rask is going to do a joint webinar together, so definitely watch that, and they'll talk about even some of their picks. Not that you should take that as any kind of financial advice. We've had some other minor updates. We've always got updates happening in the background that are more about improving the quality and speed. They happen every day, but we've improved the way in which stock dust is handled. Now that's very familiar for those of you who trade crypto. We talk about crypto dust, and that basically is a very, very small fractional amount, like 0.00001 of a holding, and we've basically put in different kinds of thresholds so that if anything is under that number, it just converts to a 0, which in the past for particular brokers like Beta Shares, for example, they use the fractional trading, and that can sometimes cause problems. So going forward, that's being handled much better, similar to the crypto dust. And then the other update we've done is that for those of you that use the Snaptrade integrations, and you may or may not know if you actually are using it, they tend to be for a lot of our US-based customers. We've improved that, where if there is some kind of Snaptrade integration where there's an error, instead of having to delete all of them, you can now just simply remap them, and that will make it much easier, much faster for you. The other thing that I'll bring to your attention is that it's a really good time to bring up this refer a friend option. So if you go up to the top right to the cog, which is the settings, and if you go down to shortcuts, refer a friend, you can see here that you've got your unique referral link. And currently, if you invite someone and they come aboard, they actually sign up to an annual plan, they get 3 months off an annual subscription, but you'll also get a $60 credit that gets applied to your payment account. And you can actually see here underneath, I've got no invited friends myself, but when they actually do sign up, you'll be showing their username, the status, and the date they actually completed. So that's one really good way to, I guess, make your subscription cheaper, and that will be applied to the next billing date if you do get that $60 credit. So you can literally copy this unique referral code here, and then you could either invite them via Facebook, Twitter, email, send them a message, whatever you like to do to get them on board, and also give them 3 months discount up front. Lastly, I'll quickly run through just the Help Center again. Over the period, we actually did get quite busy again when it came to support requests, and we do apologize for the slower than normal responses. We do try our best to try and get help for every single person. However, there's often a lot of questions that come through that can be answered in the Help Center itself. You go up to the cog and you go to Help and Support, and it will take you to the Help Center, which a lot of the Fin responses that we use on Intercom, which is our chat feature at the bottom right hand there, they directly come from this Help Center. So for example, if I'm having any kind of problems with getting started, I can click here and I can find out how to, go through and learn about different kinds of concepts, or even look at what the holding screen is and get a better understanding of what all of that means. You can always search as well at the very top. So if you want to find out any information, say about crypto, I can learn how to track my crypto to crypto trades. And there's usually a lot of images in here too with step-by-steps. So definitely follow them when you can. Otherwise, always reach out to us at the bottom right hand here, and we'll have Finn try and answer you first and triage and give you answers. Otherwise, it does get escalated to a human, but it's just a little bit slower in terms of the response at the moment because there are a lot of questions that are being asked, but we do our very best. So we are trying hard to remove a lot of the bottlenecks so that we decrease everything coming through the one spot. And one thing we'll be doing is, if you go up to settings and to the leave us feedback area, what we'll be doing here, and feedback is feedback.navexa.io, and that takes you straight to here. We're going to start allowing you and make this a lot more user-friendly in the sense that if you want a particular cryptocurrency added to the platform because it's not there, you can first of all search for it and just see if it does appear, if someone else has raised it. If not, you can put a request in that everyone else can see, so that when we actually do go ahead and add something like a particular cryptocurrency or an exchange that you've requested, or even if you've given us platform feature requests, and you can see here that there are a number that have been upvoted already. It'll allow you to be notified when it gets released or it gets upvoted. And how it works, because we've got limited resources, is the more popular upvoted feature requests, we'll look to try and implement those first. So definitely use this feature, and I'll be making it easier in terms to, with the categories. I'll be enhancing those so they're a bit more straightforward. I'll be putting more templates here too, so you can tell us exactly what you want, and you'll be able to give us the information that we require in order to get that done. So again, it'll be another great month with Navexa, and we're looking forward to making some big changes again in the future. I know that in the pipeline, Navar's working on some pretty interesting improvements that will be rolled out when they're tested and ready, but we'll keep you updated as always on these monthly reviews, and definitely reach out to us if you have any other questions. Thanks.